Many students and early career researchers are often unclear about how to identify a knowledge gap in their field, which can be exploited to design a high-impact study. Identifying knowledge gaps is one of the most intellectually demanding and creative parts of scientific work. It requires not just reading the literature, but noticing patterns, contradictions, and limitations. Hi, I'm Karen McKee, and in this video, I'll talk about some effective approaches to identifying knowledge gaps, along with concrete examples of how researchers have turned gaps into productive studies. Stick around to the end, where I'll provide a succinct list of questions to facilitate identification of knowledge gaps. Now let's look at some types of knowledge gaps. Work in your field may have been conducted in only a few geographic areas or involve a few species. You could identify other important geographic areas or species that have not been studied. Here's an example of a book chapter focusing on a particular type of tropical forest in a specific geographic region. Or as a medical researcher, you might identify a population of people who have not been studied well. Asian versus Caucasian is shown here, men versus women, adults versus children. To identify such gaps, you must search the literature on your topic and see what's missing. Sometimes the gap is not missing data, but missing frameworks. Are there competing theories that haven't been reconciled? Is there no unifying model? In this example, the authors present a theoretical framework for studying ecological boundaries. Here you may develop a new technique to allow measurement of something previously not accessible. For example, this paper reports a new technique for extracting mycorrhizal spores. Or there might be an unexplained event and you investigate the cause. For example, this study that determined what caused the sudden death of over 1,700 people and thousands of livestock in villages around Lake Nyos in Cameroon in 1986. They determined that a rare eruption released 1.6 million tons of carbon dioxide, which asphyxiated people and animals. Search the literature on your topic and find a description of a phenomenon that has not been satisfactorily explained. There are often two or more schools of thought about a particular topic. What is the cause of a disease? How will sea level rise affect coastal communities? For example, this study assessed two proposed causes of marsh loss, plant dieback versus erosion. You want to identify a debate that you can resolve or offer a new viewpoint. In this approach, you tackle a long-held viewpoint and offer an alternative explanation or new insight. Such an approach is more challenging than others, but can yield a high payoff. A well-known example from the medical field is the discovery of the cause of peptic ulcers. For over 100 years, medical researchers attributed ulcers to stress or too much acid. That is, until the discovery by two gastroenterologists showing that a bacteria, Helicobacter pylori, caused gastritis and peptic ulcers. This work led to the 2005 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the two researchers. Previous studies may have limitations in their methodology or experimental approach that you might investigate with a new analytical method or a more rigorous experimental design. For example, previous studies may have used correlative data to answer a question, and you design an experiment that will establish a cause and effect relationship. To find such limitations, check the discussion section of papers in your field for a listing of study limitations. This information can suggest possible follow-up studies that you might conduct. Ask practitioners, policymakers, and local communities about what problems remain unsolved. What additional scientific knowledge is needed for decision-making? For example, this study provided information about the use of nurse plants to facilitate forest regeneration after disturbance. Here are a few practical questions that will aid in uncovering knowledge gaps. When scanning a body of literature, ask, what is understudied? This reveals potential gaps. What is assumed but untested? A high-value gap. What is measured poorly or indirectly? Methodological gap. What doesn't fit the dominant narrative? Conceptual gap. The most productive gaps are not just missing pieces, but missing connections between scales, disciplines, or mechanisms. Strong research often emerges not from asking what hasn't been done, but from asking what are we currently unable to explain despite all that has been done. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and hit the like button if you found this information helpful.